Hello friends, greet to all of you and welcome to my YouTube channel Sanjeev Pratsama. Right now I am standing you and I am going to tell you about the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita because yesterday I told about a lot of analysis and in detail about the first chapter. What is written in first chapters and I think today I am going to give you the second chapter. If you are a good listener, so please try to listen to me carefully. What is the thoughts and knowledge behind the second chapter? I think some people also said that second chapter is the most important chapter of all the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So you try to listen to me carefully. Let's start. Guys, Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, it is called in Hindi Sankhya Yoga, the yoga of knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is one of the most important chapters of the Gita because it gives the foundation of the entire philosophy. In this chapter, Lord Krishna begins teaching Arjuna about the duty, soul, wisdom, action, and self-control. Guys, it contains 72 verses and explains the immortality of the soul, the importance of the duty, dharma, the karma yoga, selfless actions, the nature of the wise person, control over desires and emotions. These are the parts of this chapter. First of all, background of the chapter 2, I'm going to give you. At the end of the chapter, when Arjuna becomes emotionally weak on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he sees his teachers, relatives, friends standing against him. Because of the attachment and sorrow, he refuses to fight. He says, "How can I kill my own family? Victory gained through a bloodshed is a meaningless. Krishna, I would rather beg than fight." Arjuna drops his bow and sits in a despair. Chapter 2 begins with Krishna smiling and teaching him the truth about life and duty. Krishna criticizes weaknesses. Krishna first attacks Arjuna's hopelessness. He says that this sadness is not suitable for a warrior. Arjuna, a bold person should not run away from the responsibility because of the temporary emotions. So you are a brave person. So a brave person cannot a temporary person to run away from the battlefield. Main ideas of fear and confusion destroy wisdom. Emotional weaknesses prevents right action. A person must rise above the cowardice. Krishna encourages Arjuna to stand up and fight with the courage. The immortality of the soul. This is the central teaching of the chapter. Krishna explains that the body is temporary, but the soul, Atma, is eternal. Famous teaching, the soul is never born, never dies, cannot be destroyed. Krishna says, "Oh Arjun, just as a person changes old clothes and wears a new ones, the soul leaves an old body and enters a new one." This teaching removes Arjuna's fear of death. Meaning, death is only a change of body, the real self is eternal. Therefore, excessive grief is ignorance. Important philosophical idea. The body belongs to the material world, but the soul belongs to the spiritual world. Krishna teaches that the wise people do not become excessively happy or sad because they understand the temporary nature of life. Duty, dharma and responsibility. Krishna then speaks about the Kshatriya dharma, duty of warrior. Arjuna is a warrior prince. His responsibility is to protect justice and truth. Running away from the battle would be dishonor. Arjuna, Krishna's argument, a warrior must fight for justice. Escaping duty leads to a shame. Society collapses when the people abandon responsibility. This teaching is not only about war, it means students must perform their duties. Teachers must teach honestly. Leaders must protect society. Every person should do righteous work. Karma Yoga, the yoga of actions. This is one of the greatest teaching of the chapter. Krishna tells Arjuna, perform your duty but do not become attached to the results. This is called the Karma Yoga. Core principle, action, attachment to results. A person should work sincerely, give a full efforts, but remain calm about the success or failure. Why? Because attachment creates anxiety, fear, anger, disappointment, ego. True Karma Yoga, work without self fitness, offer actions to God or truth, maintain inner balance. This idea teaches a mental peace and discipline. Importance of equanimity. Krishna says a wise person remains a balanced in victory and defeat, pleasure and pain, profit and loss. Sanskrit idea, this balance is called the samatvam, equanimity. Meaning life always changes. If a person becomes too attached to a happiness or to a broken by sadness, peace or disappears, a spiritually mature person stays steady in every situation. And as control of desires. Krishna explains how desires destroys wisdom. He gives a psychological chain. Thinking constantly about objects, attachment develops, desire arises, desire leads to anger, anger causes confusion, confusion destroys memory, wisdom disappears, the person falls. This is one of the deepest psychological analysis in ancient literature. Message uncontrolled desires becomes the cause of the suffering. The ideal wise person, one of the most famous part of the chapter is the description of the Sahit Prajna, a person of a stable wisdom. Qualities of the wise person. A wise person controls the senses, remains calm, is free from ego, is not disturbed by the pleasure of pain, has an inner peace, avoids excessive attachment. Krishna compares such a person to an ocean that remains full even when rivers flow into it. Deep meaning, external situation cannot disturb a spiritually vacant person. Importance of sense control. Krishna wants the uncontrolled senses can carry away the mind, just as control is. Move a boat on water. Therefore, a discipline is necessary. Meditation is necessary. Self-control is necessary. Without controlling the mind, spiritual growth is impossible. Spiritual peace, Krishna concludes the peace comes only when desires are reduced, ego disappears, attachment ends. The selfish mind remains restless. But a disciplined mind becomes a peaceful. The final state is called Brahmi Sathiti, spiritual realization and union with truth. Major themes of chapter 2, eternal soul. The soul cannot die. Duty. One must perform righteous duty with the fear. Karma yoga. Walk without attachment to results. Self-control. Control over senses leads to wisdom. Mental balance. Stay calm in success and failure. Spiritual wisdom. True knowledge removes fear and sorrow. Literary and philosophical importance. Chapter 2 is considered the summary of the entire Gita because almost every major philosophy appears here in scene form. It combines spirituality, ethics, psychology, philosophy, practical life guidance. The chapter influenced Indian philosophy, yoga traditions, spiritual movements, modern thinkers. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda deeply admired these teachings. Modern relevance, even today chapter 2 is highly relevant. For students, focus on effort, not only make marks. Stay calm during the failure. For professionals, work honestly without greed. Avoid stress caused by over-attachment to success. For personal life, learn emotional balance. Control anger and desires. Develop inner peace. Conclusion, Bhagavad Gita transform Arjuna from the confusion towards the wisdom. Krishna teaches that the soul is eternal, duty is sacred, attachment causes suffering, selfless actions leads to peace. Wisdom comes through a self-control and a spiritual understanding. This chapter is not only a religious teaching but also a guide for the courage, discipline and balanced living. So, ladies and gentlemen, and if you are parents and students, try to read Gita chapter 2 also, the most important, and this is the seed of all the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So it's a request to all of you, if you want to be happy always in your life, we all try to study 1 to 3 times, more times, whole times in our life, Gita. So great all of you, Jai Hind.